I saw where I went through the different stages in my marriage, where I started out being passive, and then went into aggression, and then to the point where I just didn't care, so I just... And so I saw for myself where I went through those stages.
Communication was probably a big thing. I've noticed a change even with Rob, even after going through that exercise last night. My mother forgot her pills, and I called him and asked him to pick it up, and normally he would tell me about the things that he has to do and how tired he is, and this time he goes, okay. And he just said, okay, I'll pick it up. And even this morning he was talking about my mother has gone to Jamaica, so she left this morning, and Mom was saying that Robert was with us the last time, and I thought to myself, he's not going anywhere, he's wrapped up in the bed. So I told him, I said, Mom was asking about you, and you were with us the last time. And he goes, yeah, I'm going to be there today too. And I was like, oh, okay. So that was really nice, because normally it would have been me prompting, like, are you coming? And I didn't have to do that. So I think it makes you self-aware. It made us very much self-aware, and I see a change, and I know there's going to be a change.
Is that amazing?
Yeah.
Self-awareness and the difference between passive, aggressive, and assertiveness.
Mm-hmm.
And ingredients of a healthy relationship.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We always start with some encouragement from scriptures to let you know how God has always been very, very intentional about his writings. There were 5 daughters. There were 5 daughters that decided that they were not going to be passive or aggressive, but they will be assertive in their communication. And because men and women, they communicate differently, they decided we have to do it in this context. So they decided to have a meeting and take a trip to go and speak with Moses. You are all familiar with it, the daughters of Zelophehad in the book of Numbers. God told them that Moses should divide the land according to those that have got men. So those that don't have men, they will have no land. So they thought, hey, we think it is not fair, we need to go and communicate that. So they went and they told Moses. Moses did something that was spectacular. If I was Moses, I would have told them that God says so I cannot do anything, because that is final words from God himself. But Moses decided to do something differently that I want us to have that at the back of our minds as we go through this process. When they approached Moses, Moses said, okay, let me do this. And the Bible says Moses brought their case before God in prayer. He listened and he talked to God about it. And after that, God declared and said that the daughters of Zelophehad, they speak right. So in other words, give them land. If a family don't have daughters, pass it on to their brethren. If they have no brethren, pass it on until even the servant at home, they had the blessings. So you see how when you communicate effectively, it brings a paradigm shift in one's life. So women, when we talk about communication, you are the pinnacle. I would say the zenith. You are on top of it. Men too, you are also on top of the pyramid too, because there've been time and time again that men have communicated in an assertive and a clear manner that have brought the family together and have brought relationships were restored because of the way that they communicated. But for this evening, we are going to do some role plays and we watch some clips and also bring some understanding as to how men and women we talk, how we are wired in a different way. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to my sugar dumpling as she comes. And you know what? She has now called into her melancholic and doesn't want attention. But the sanguine, I'm in my element.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Did you have a good lunch?
Yes.
I feel sorry for you if you didn't. We had fish and chips. What else did we have? And then we went to the British store. So Sonia, thank you so very much for introducing us to the British store. We will take a trip from Milton to come to Hamilton to go to the British store. You guys need to go there and get some chocolates and some biscuits and hula hoop crisps. Thank you guys for hosting us. We're having a great time with you all. This afternoon, like Elvis said, we're going to talk about communication. How do men and women communicate differently? We have 4 men in the audience, so I hope that you will speak up for the men. Earlier on today, we talked about personality traits and that how we are all wired differently, how we all have different traits as given to us by God. And so when we are different traits, we kind of behave differently, we think differently, we act differently. So how is it that men and female, we communicate differently? We're all made in the image of God. We believe that. Yet still, He has made us all uniquely different. Different by design, but kind of similar. We have obvious questions, so I'm going to ask it, just humor me. How are we different? How are women different physically from men?
Bodily features.
Bodily features? What bodily features? Because I don't want to be funny or anything, but...
Well, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Give me some then.
Well, you stumped me then.
How do we look different from men in today's society, I should add? Yes.
To kind of be like stereotypical, I guess, like men have like broader shoulders and they're just built with kind of a little bit more muscle because we kind of have the upper body without the chest that we have to cover with our this.
Right. Okay, do we agree with that? Men have broader shoulders, for the most part. They have muscular chests. More muscular. Okay. All right. How else can I tell a woman apart from a man? You're behaving as if you don't know what you look like.
Voice.
Voice.
More men have more bass.
Yeah, women have sweeter voices.
Oh, hold up. Let's not bring up Marvin Gaye.
What else? How else are we different? So physically, men are broader. Women have softer voices than men. Men have more hairs on the body. Can we agree with that at least? What else? Women tend to have longer hairs or thicker hairs or
Feet?
thicker feet?
No, I'm talking about feet. Feet difference.
Okay. Okay.
Thicker feet.
Men, yeah, feet size.
Yes.
Okay, men have bigger feet size than women?
Yes.
Because men's feet size goes up to what, 12,
No.
13?
No.
13?
20.
What?
Yeah.
What's
18, 20.
Really?
Yeah.
18, 20.
My friend's 18.
Okay. They have bigger feet.
Curves.
Curves. Oh, yes. Some women are blessed with beautiful curves. Men are blessed with some curves. They're a little bit straighter than Coca-Cola shapes.
The hands.
The hands?
People associate big, like, kind of like working hands with like manly hands, kind of like.
So if I have working hands, I have manly hands.
Well, it's just that's what most people associate with them, like saying, just to be like stereotypical, yes.
I'm just playing with you, but thank you. Okay, what about thinking? What about our emotions? We're very different, right? From men. Women
Are more emotional.
are more emotional. Let me just say this for the record. Emotional does not mean weak. Okay? Emotional does not mean weak. People tend to think that, emotional, and they come with it with a negative connotation, but it's not. That's just how God made us. We're nurturers. What else? What else? We're emotional. How do we act? Do we act differently? Is there a significant difference between men and women in our actions? You're nodding. In what ways? Yes, I forget your name, but I'm trying to remember it, so don't tell me before we finish. Austin.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that though, I just remembered. Austin. What else were you saying?
I was kind of thinking of like how like women are known as like the caretakers and men are kind of like the protectors. So in a sense, like men kind of have to have like that tough, thick skin, and like women are kind of like on the like more sensitive side, if that's the right word for that, and just more caring and nurturing. Not to say that men can't be and women can't be the opposite. Like they can both like you never want to mess with like a mama bear's cubs or anything like that, but like in the real world sense, actually moms, but just in that sense, I guess.
So women are more cuddly and warm and affirming and nurturing?
But not when, like there are most times, but like when they have to, obviously they'll step up and protect when they have to, when they need to be tough, but that's almost like the male's role, I guess, to be the protector, the provider.
Mm-hmm. Good, okay. I'm glad we have one man. What's your name? White t-shirt. Matt?
Yeah.
Are you the twin?
Yeah, I'm the
Hi, Matt.
twin. How you doing?
I'm good. We missed your lunch today.
That's okay.
It's okay for you.
I have a KFC.
You had KFC?
Yeah.
Nah.
And-
You go to Jamaica for real KFC, I've been told.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I've been told.
Absolutely.
Wow. And we were talking about you. They gossip about you. Me, I tell the truth. I will tell you how they gossip about you. They said that you were a cool dude.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. Are you married?
In the future.
Okay. Look, we're talking about relationships here.
Yeah.
You know, we have more women in here than men, and men, they seem to be hiding. I don't know. Pastor, in my church, I tell the pastors, you must do a campaign specifically for men. We don't have a lot of men in our churches. We need a lot of men in our, godly men in our churches, so that we can have options, us women that are still single. Amen? Are we not praying for that?
Yes.
You don't need to be shy about that. We have to talk about it.
Yeah.
So, Matt, who wants to be married in the future, what do you think some of the differences are with men and women?
They don't really like to express their feelings.
Who doesn't?
The woman.
Doesn't want to
They
express.
expect.
That's
Well, just
true.
from my experience, like my relationship, like
It's
she
true.
kind of has a hard time like telling how she feels, and we're working on that. But that's.
So, in your
one thing,
experience, the woman that has a hard time telling you how she feels?
Yeah. And she
Okay.
expects me to know how she feels sometimes, but I'm like, can you please tell me? Because if I say the wrong thing, you're gonna get mad even more.
Right. That the second part, I agree with you. Ladies, don't you think? A lot of times we want our men to read our minds.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good
I
one.
know it's true.
Well, excuse me. Okay, let's move on.
You are indeed a very cool dude.
I told you, we missed your lunch. We can have more laughs. We can have more laughs. But yes, there definitely is a significant difference between men and women. Now, physically, emotionally, how we act, how we speak, how we communicate is also very different. Just being demonstrated. So we're going to do a role play, but before that, we are going to show the video.
How was the clip?
Very good.
Yes. So you're beginning to get some, some kind of an understanding how come sometimes even in conversation, men will tend not to understand the woman. It's because our brain is wired differently. That you don't take things personal. Just imagine how a woman would remind the man about so many events, so many things, and they would say, okay, I don't, but I just told you 4 hours ago, and what do you mean? Were you listening or you were not listening? Maybe at that time the man was operating India, nothing works. But here it is important that we start getting this type of understanding. So in the event of even communication, you will go to each other's world of thinking, and the key word, the password we are giving everyone is that we want you to be intentional. If you are intentional doing anything, you always have it in front of your mind. Are you intentional listening? Are you intentional bringing clarity and creating a deeper understanding? Are you intentional to connect with whatever that you are talking about? If every one of you are intentional, you put your password in, you will always be on one level. Why? Because you will be going into each other's world of thinking. So the man will come into your brain whereby they know that you are like the super internet highway and you are connecting all over like, railways, tracks, it goes like that so much, and the man is just only one track. And that the woman can come in the man and know that, you know what, I need to slow down because they can only take it one step at a time. That each of you would be going into each other's world of thinking. It is very important. So we are glad that you are beginning to connect that whatever that has happened in your lives, in your relationship that have not even gone on so well, know that it was not your fault, and that you know that had you known this and had your partner or your friend also had an understanding of this, that two of you are standing together, the question is, how would things have turned out differently if you both had not only an understanding but a deeper understanding? And I'm sure that most of the argument and the misunderstanding will not have occurred because now you would have had that knowledge. So we say that knowledge is powerful. I am going to tell you a story. I like stories. Like, apart from being a sanguine, I was brought up with different stories back home in Ghana. Our grandparents will gather us and we will sit under their feet and they will tell us stories while the moonlight is up and we roasting plantain. Oh, I miss those days. And I'm sure that some of you might have experienced those times when you were growing up. So a story is told of 3 people that went to England to study English. So they went to class, and the first day in class, they came out and they decided that, wow, they are now guru in English. Only one day. So the first guy, all that he learned was we 3. What did he learn?
We 3.
We 3. That was all the English he learned. We 3, and he was proud of that. The second one learned because of money. What did he learn?
Because of money.
Because of money. And the third one learned, you better be quick or else you are a foolish man. What did he learn?
You better be quick.
Or else you are a foolish man. So they decided they will not go to class again because they know English. So they walk and they are proud with their English. So the first one, when people see me and they say, "How are you?" and how would he respond?
We three.
Yes. And you know, they will go and they said that, "Hey, this is so gorgeous. Look, it's so warm outside." And the second one would respond,
Because of money.
Because of money.
yes, because of money. And the third one, you say something, he would also respond, "You better be quick or else you are a foolish man." So they were walking to town and they saw that this guy was being beaten. And the guy was bleeding to death. So they were so empathetic and they were wondering what had happened to this guy. So they were going in. This guy was going every three, you know. And as they were there contemplating and trying to help this dying man, the police stopped by. And the police came. And these guys were ready to exhibit their English skills. So the police came and the police said, "Who killed this man?" And the first one came trying to exhibit their English, and guess what he said?
We three.
And the police started writing and said, "And may I ask why you killed him?" And the second one came.
Because of money.
He said, "You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be..." And before he ended, the other one said, "You better be quick or else you are a foolish man." A little knowledge is very dangerous. The main thing, the ethos of it is that a little knowledge is so dangerous. So as we go through the process and we are learning, we need to know. So here, you know, the linguistics, they have this genderless, you know, meaning the variety of language that is tied not to geography or to family background or to the role, but to the speaker's sexual gender. So in other words, every one of you, when you were growing up, you had different ways of how you were being communicated and how you learned your own communication. It's a script, it's a language. Nobody goes to school to learn communication. I can guarantee you that when you started school, every year you will learn English, maths, geography, science, civic. You will learn. Now tell me, when have you ever gone to school that every year they will teach you communication skills? When have you been to school that every year they have a subject on communication skills? We are left on our own. So at home, if what your parents got from your grandparents and your grandparents got from your great-great-great-grandparents, that is what has been passed on generations to generations. So by the time your parents are there, they will also give you whatever that had been given. So you can never give what you don't have. If you plant apples, you will not reap pineapples. And that is the same in communication. So can we go to the next one? So now we are going to do a role play. We want 2 guys here and we want 2 females here.
There's only 3 guys here. Take your pick.
No, here.
Oh, 4.
Yes.
Oh, Matthew.
You know. Come with it. Come.
Go to the young man.
Come.
Go on.
And we want 2 females.
Let's do the men first.
Men first. Can we give him this one? Okay. So you are going to call him to tell me. So you've just been to Walmart and they've reduced, or you've been to
Where do men go for shopping?
shopping.
I feel like we go to completely different stores.
Yeah.
So straight.
Foot Nike.
Yeah.
Foot Locker. Let's go Foot Locker. Good with Foot Locker.
Foot Locker. Okay, so
Kids
you,
Foot Locker.
so you went to Foot Locker and they reduced some shoes. You are calling your best friend to let him know that they've reduced shoes.
So there's a sale.
There is a say. So
Okay.
but call him and let him know. Okay.
Wait, that's all we get?
Yeah. So he's just calling you to let you know. So
Okay.
give him a call.
Normally I don't catch a phone call, but hello?
Man, I'm so happy it's looking at my phone, dude. Normally I miss every single phone call. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good, you?
I'm good, thank you. So I'm at the store right now, and I'm at Foot Locker, and there's a big sale going on.
Oh, no way.
Yes, way. What type of shoes do you like?
Dude, any kind.
Specifically?
Nikes?
You prefer Nikes? Okay. What size are you?
8.
Okay, so you're a size 8. Okay, nice. I'm gonna go in the size 8 section. So, what colors do you like? Do you usually wear?
Like, if you could find like neon green and neon pink. Oh.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Okay, I don't
I love
see
red
any.
shoes, man.
I don't see any of those colors. Do you prefer anything else?
Any purple ones?
Purple ones?
I'm picking really bad colors, aren't I? All the good ones are sold out already, aren't they?
No, I don't see any purple. Any others?
The first color that came to my head was gold, actually.
How about all white?
Okay, I see all white. Okay, nice. Okay. They haven't. Do you like trainers? Do you like basketball shoes or casual? What do you usually wear?
Like slip on with laces.
Slip on with laces. Okay. I see one. Okay. I'm gonna pick it up for you. Can you pay me back?
Yeah, sure, I got you, bro.
It's $50.
That's okay.
Regular $100.
Oh, dude, that's a sale.
Is
Oh,
that
man.
good with that?
Yeah, good.
All
Okay,
right.
we're good with that.
Thank you. We need 2 females.
Amanda?
Okay,
let's go, Shima.
I'm gonna give this. Okay. So you went to Winners and you saw some deals there. You were calling to let your friend know.
Ring, 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 ring. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I'm at Winners,
Mm-hmm.
and there's lots of good deals here.
Mm-hmm.
There's clothes, shoes, toys,
Mhm.
snacks,
How about I just meet you at Winners? Which one are you at?
Ancaster.
Meadowlands. Okay. I'll be there in like 10 minutes.
Sure.
All right. What's up? Okay.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
See? All the deal?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to look at first?
Well, I need some shoes, and I need like a dress. So we can go in the dress section.
Okay, it's over here.
Okay. We're going.
Okay, over there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, look. You like this one? It's pretty.
No, that's kind of ugly.
Okay, well, there's this one that has flowers on it with red.
No, that's too frou-frou.
Okay, want to come back
Ooh,
today?
I like this.
Oh, you like that one?
I do. This one's pretty.
That is good, but there's a good price on it too.
It's $24. That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
I like that.
Yeah. Want to look at shoes now?
Yeah.
Oh wait, first want to look at your size. See if they have your size of dress.
I already got the size in my hand.
Okay.
My 1X already.
Okay, let's go look at the shoes.
Okay. Oh, I like these. And these. Oh, these ones look better. I think I'm gonna try on these.
Okay, try them on. Now see how they look. Oh, they look fabulous on you.
No.
Girl, walk it. Show us how it works.
No, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work with the outfit. Oh,
Okay,
these
try those ones.
will.
Yeah. Try those on. Yeah, there you go, girl. Work it.
I like I think we get these are the ones.
Okay. Want to go pay for it? Or you want to look around some more?
No, I'm done.
Okay, let's go pay for it.
Okay. You want to go for lunch?
Sure, where you want to go?
Let's see. We can go to the chalet?
Sure, we're going to a chalet.
All right.
Okay, let's go.
That was long.
Can come back and do the analysis.
No, go ahead, continue. I'm enjoying listening.
Guess what happened?
Oh,
Did you notice the difference between the men and the women?
draining. Draining.
The men were just straight up. They only talked about the shoes.
Yeah.
You want a shoe? Which color? This color? Okay, done deal. It is 50 bucks. Finished. Finito. They are done. Then the women came. The same scenario. Some deals going on in Witness. Okay, with the deals. Okay, what about me coming to join you? And she indeed took the trip to Witness. And when they got to Witness, it was not only shoes. It was shoes, bags, dresses, you name it, try it on. And after doing all that, now what are you doing? Should we go for lunch? They extend their conversation over lunch. Wow. Will that not be so draining for the man who don't have a deeper understanding? Yes. And you see, anywhere we've been, if we give the same scenario, guess what happens? The men are straight up. Okay, thank you for letting me know. Okay, just pick a color for me. I will pay you as soon as you come back. Finish. And when the female comes up with the same scenario, it's exactly like that.
Wow.
They will even talk about, whilst you are there, go to the flower section, they reduce it, we can buy some cakes. Oh, the cute dress for the babies, all this. And they would even have about an hour or an hour and a half conversation on the phone because they are connecting. Women are all about connection. They like to connect. Because they are emotional beings, they connect through talking and sharing. That is how they feel valued. And sometimes when the woman wants their men to listen and for them to just talk, sometimes men can be so impatient because they want you to get straight to the point. The point is that it doesn't look like they can just get straight to the point here saying they've reduced things awareness. No. They need to navigate, go around, because you go shopping. That's why men, we buy something, they go to the shop. How much is this? They say, no, okay. They go to the counter here, they pay and they go. The women, they will start from this aisle, pick it, and they will go to Nova Scotia, travel to Vancouver, and they will pick all the items aisle by aisle, line by line. Then they will in the end come back to the same spot and pick the same item they left, and you ask, if you knew you would buy it, why didn't you buy it? And the answer would be, who knows, there might have been a bigger or a better deal somewhere. Men, we need to take our time and understand our women. God fearfully and wonderfully made them also. But God took his time to create them. That is why when God made Adam, it was quick, finished. But for women, God took his time, because guess what? God has already made the man. He put the man to sleep. God looked at the man, and God was very, very careful that he will not do the same Adam. To make the same, God decided, you know what? Let me put some elements here. We'll look at Adam. Adam don't have this. I need to make it different. God adjusted it and started forming. So, then God took his time. And God took the time. And when God making the woman, God was satisfied. And when Adam woke up and Adam saw Eve, Adam couldn't utter anything than to say, wow! Adam went, wow, man. And that was woo, man, wow, man. It was wonderful.
Amen.
So, men, let's slow down and take our time, because how we communicate is so different from women. So, Ruth, come.
Let's look at communications. Why? How do we communicate differently, and why? What do we talk about? What do women talk about? What do men talk about? So let's look at men first. Why do men communicate? What do men communicate about? Matt, what do you talk to your friends about?
Sports.
Austin, what do you talk to your men friends about?
Basically the same answer. Like, it's like we more talk about everything but our feelings, I guess. So like sports is something very easy to be like, yo, Matt, you see like Kawhi signed with the Clippers or something like that. Just very like, we almost like watch sports now all the time, so we have something to talk about with our guy friends. That's something I do at least. Keep up on my sports.
Mm-hmm. Anybody? Any
Cars too. Cars.
cars?
Yeah.
We talk about cars.
What else?
Working out.
Yeah, boring stuff, eh? Sports, cars, working out. Aaron, what do you talk to your men friends about?
Few that I have, it's usually current events.
News weather.
So what do you notice? Yes, I heard. He said current affairs and news and weather.
Yes, and that is so unique and exclusive. Let's give him a big round of applause. Wow, news and weather. Brilliant.
What is a theme? What is a theme going through what men talk about? What is a theme?
Entertainment?
They're factual things, aren't they? They
Real.
solid things. Nothing. Well, I guess sports have, if you're very sporty, can be emotional. But even how you express that is a bit different from how women will express their team as opposed to men. Do women get into fights when they support a team that loses?
No.
No? Anybody heard of women getting into fights, punching walls, holes, kicking somebody in the head, drinking, smashing the TV? No. No, we're very civil, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Praise the Lord.
Well, if you live in my home, I have 3 boys in my house, Elvis and his 2 sons. And they support Arsenal and Liverpool. We have lots of holes in our house for when their team loses. So men typically use precise words. They go straight to the point, as we saw in the demonstration. They don't, go beat about the bush. So they talk about the men use communication to maintain independence. They use communication to share facts and figures, as in a report, express themselves to fix a problem, talk to resolve problems, converse for competition. Men are competitive, are they not? Mm-hmm. So even in their conversation, it can be about what I'm doing or how I'm doing or how I'm getting there. It's all about, and even when you think about the topics, sports and cars and bodybuilding and protein shakes and how many pounds they lifted, it's all about comparisons, and there's nothing fun about it. Well, for them it's fun, right? It's fun for you men. But then men have to communicate to women, and they want to communicate to women as if they're communicating to their men friends, then what happens?
Over our head. Unless you're into the sport, unless you watch it with them and you know what's happening, it's like, okay, they won, okay, yay. And then we keep it moving because we're like,
Right.
We don't know what you're talking about.
And then you change the topic and talk about, hey, I went to Winners and I saw
Yeah,
dressing.
right.
Okay. And that can break down the relationship. Because you don't, it's like you're not crossing over, you're not hearing each other. It's like somebody speaking, you're both speaking different languages. Okay, so what about women? Why do women communicate? Why do women communicate? And how do we communicate? Do we have any women in the room?
I think we communicate to build a bond and to basically get to know somebody. So we ask them 99 million questions and we go through the whole list so that we can get a feeling of who they are and to see how we relate to them. And even if we can build like a friendship or a bond, I feel that's why we communicate.
Okay. So women communicate to build a bond. Why else do women communicate?
For support.
For support. We communicate to build a bond. We communicate for support. What else?
Share feelings, express ourselves and vent.
So we vent to our friends, to our female friends. And then sometimes we kind of get ahead of ourselves. We start venting to our men friends. And they don't listen to us, and then we get upset. But now do we know why? So we need to understand men, and we need to understand women. We need to know how to stay in our lane. Because if we don't stay in our lane, then that's when we have the breakdown. That's when we get the problems. Because then we're trying to force the men into our lane and listen to our stories about the clothes and the shoes and the purses and the emotions. And like the man said in the video, we are just linking everything. And men don't have the time, they don't have the patience. But we want them to be like us. And so then we get into trouble. And we think, why are you so not listening? Right? Why are you not there with me? You're not listening to me. You're not nice to me. So women, we use communication to maintain intimacy. Somebody says solidify bond with the man she loves. Establish and maintain relationship, express herself, to explore how she feels, converse to support, and talk to connect. So obviously we know ourselves. We know why we communicate. We want all of these things, and then when we come on the other side with our mate, we want to bond with them. We want to connect with them. We want them to know how much we care about them. Like, how often do you hear women telling their spouses, their partners, about their emotions, how much they love them, what they want to do, where they want to go? Do you hear that very often from the men? No. Not very often. And that's the reality. We have a friend who, when he got married, his wife would say, oh, you don't tell me you love me. You don't tell me you love me. And he said, but that hasn't changed. Since I married you, the love hasn't changed. If it changes, I will let you know. Alternatively, I can write it on the wall and every morning I'll just point at it. Imagine if that was your husband, how would you feel, women? Kind of devastated, right? You feel, even though you know, I think most of us know that our spouses love us, but for some reason we want to hear it. Because it makes us feel good. It makes us feel connected. It just helps us to know that, yeah, this is my man. He tells me every day he loves me. So men, let me go to the women. Women, why do you want to hear it?
Validation. I say the same thing. Assurance.
Assurance. So men, are you hearing? This is a conversation between men and women. So you can understand and know why women do what we do and why men do what we do. So we've heard that in relationship there is compromise. We complement each other. There needs to be what? Balance. There needs to be a balance. So it can't be one way all the time. It can't be their way and it can't be our way. But when there is understanding, there's little room for conflict. And so men, we're talking so that I know I keep saying men, women too. But men, we need you to understand, because women, we have more needs. So, men, you need to understand that women need validation, affirmation, assurance. How often do you want to hear it?
Sometimes we want to hear it just because their actions are not aligning with their words. And so for us, we need to know and we need to hear it so that, as Emmanuela said, assurance and validation, because we just want to know. Although we may know, right now your action's not speaking that. And so we want to know that nothing in the relationship has changed and that, we're still on the same page.
Okay, Emmanuela?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It's like a form of security. We need the head of the household to work and provide and all that, but for the emotional aspect, I think that helps with the security of the relationship, knowing that he's not looking elsewhere, he's not going out to anybody else because he only has eyes for me and vice versa. Yeah.
So these are what women want. But men, you're hearing this, and I feel a little sad that we don't have enough men in the room, but those that are here, when you hear the women speak this way, how do you make sense of that? What does it do for you? Does it make sense? Do you agree with it or you don't agree?
I agree.
You agree? Who said it? Oh, okay.
As a true phlegmatic, it makes me feel sad.
It makes you feel sad?
Yeah.
How so?
Because I'm not relating at that level. I'm trying to.
So hearing this today, is it helpful?
Yes, very much.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else?
Speak or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, like that's something like I always understood. Not speaking for every guy, but again, like when she's like that, like we like to like that you guys like to create a bond with each other. I was just like thinking right back to like how guys can almost become like superficial best friends after not knowing each other, never said anything, just because we like the same sports team or something like that. So like we still create bonds, but then when it comes to validation, that's something that we kind of tend to like push down if we can, because again, like just because you show emotion doesn't mean you're weak, but it's still the perception sometimes that like when you put yourself out there, because we are in a sense the ones that are supposed to make the first move always. So like if you don't like rejection, then you're just not even gonna bother doing it, because what's the point of putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, and then like possibly getting like your heart broken, so that kind of makes your heart like tougher and tougher and not want to go as much. But sometimes we still need validation just as much, whether we admit it or not. We still like hearing compliments, even if we have all the confidence in the world and we know we look good, we still like to hear it. So kind of goes both ways in that sense. Like we kind of, as like a collective unit, need to validate each other at the same kind of pace to have balance.
Great. Does Austin speak for most of the men in this room? In that you want validation too?
I don't need the mic.
Did you say no? Yes?
I wanna hear I love you too. This and that. There's a time where LaShawn and I were hanging out and she's like, Matt, like, you used to say I love you a lot. You don't really say it that much anymore. I love you, Lash. Well, you can't just say it now because I just said it. I don't want to say it all the time. Like, I like comfort her a lot. Like, I like to like hug her and, do what? Yeah, I do my things. So, yeah, to your question, yeah, I want that.
You want that. So, LaShawn, Matt needs it. The same way as you need it, he also wants it. And he's a brave man to say that. Don't you guys think?
Yeah.
but she actually does though. She actually does.
She does?
Yeah, she does. She does.
Good.
I'm just speaking.
In general terms. Okay. Let's hear the other twins.
Don't go to her before you go to me.
Okay, I have to say, I think it's a twin thing because Mike did the same thing when I first started dating him. And then I asked him the same thing. I'm like, why don't you just say I love you all the time? And he said, because then if I tell you all the time, then you don't enjoy it as much when I say it every once in a while. And it means something more. But same thing, he's all like huggy and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think it's a twin thing. I think they express themselves different. Yeah.
I express it all the time.
Thank you.
So my point of view on that is, yeah, she's absolutely correct about the I love you thing. Just because like I want my words to mean something, I don't want to like all of a sudden I'm not feeling it, you know, and I'm like I love you, you know. I want to actually say it and mean it and say it with all my heart, right? So, but in terms of validation, I don't need the validation. I think the validation for me is how about you share what you're feeling, is express yourself rather than just like I don't need to hear that you love me. I don't really need to hear all that stuff, but I just want our hearts on the table, that you see my heart and I see your heart and we feel it together, right? And that's...
So you need to break down a bit for me.
Okay.
You want to see the heart in my heart and your heart. How do we see that on the table without me expressing it?
Well, that's the thing. It's like the lack of expressing it. I see it through material things or different gestures.
Okay.
But
so your love language. So you're talking from a love language perspective.
I guess so.
Yeah.
If you wanna say it like that, yeah, I guess so. Like I'd rather like what I said last night. I'm sharing my feelings, and then I ask you, what do you feel? Like, how are you feeling about this right now? And you say, I don't know. I told her, right? I said, listen, in this house, there is going to be no I don't know or whatever's in the vocabulary. We're just going to share what we share and share how we feel. There's not going to be an I don't know, because you do know. You just don't want to share, or you can't put it in words.
Right. So I like that bit about you can't put it in words.
Yeah.
So perhaps when we're in a relationship with somebody who is not expressing, rather than coming at it from that way, could we come at it from a wanting to know? Why is it that you're not able to share? Why don't you want to share? Why don't you want to express? Because we've all had different experiences. It may be that in my past experience I wasn't allowed to share, or I wasn't able to, or maybe coming from my home of origin, I didn't do any of that. I didn't get any role models. I didn't see my parents share it, or I do as I tell you. So I wasn't allowed to speak up. It comes from a place. Because when God made us, He made us whole. And then we came into the world and we got tarnished. And then when we got tarnished, we got picked at. Things fell off. The good qualities that we need in a relationship, some of them, we got attacked. And so now we're having to relearn it. But as was said yesterday, we're fearful. That was said quite a lot. We're fearful. I don't know how it's going to be received. Because I've been beat down for so long that I like the fact that you want me to share, but I'm still scared. So the question is, what can I do to help you to feel comfortable to share?
And that is a more connective way to bring the other person in.